Yo, what's up, everybody? This is going to be episode 68 of the Fitness Realty podcast. Of course, I'm TJ McClellan, broker of Fitness Realty. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to bring you guys this topic. I'm not sure where this is going to go. This is a pretty open-ended topic, so thanks for the ride. Let's see what happens. The topic of today is going to be, what do you always put first when prioritizing your time? I want you guys to think about that. Let that kind of set in. Let it sink into your own mind. What does that look like for you when you have to prioritize your time? Do you burn a lot of time watching TV? Do you burn a lot of time playing video games? Do you burn a lot of time hanging out with your family? I shouldn't say burn on that, sorry. Do you spend a lot of time with your family? I'm not sure if I said that incorrectly. Whatever, you guys know I'm not good with words. What does that look like for you, though? When I think to myself, how am I prioritizing my time? What am I spending my time on? And if I had a category for everything, what fills up the most, right? If you had to think about an entire day, what takes up the most time? I'm going to give you a little bit of experience or a little bit of insight into my personal life. And I'm just going to be open and honest with you and share with you guys a little bit about me. As you guys know, I've gotten an Aura ring. I would show you what it looks like, but it's right here. It's on the finger. That might not be good if I just, whatever. Anyway, I did get an Aura ring though, and it's taking a bunch of my stats of my daily life. One of those stats is my sleep habits. Over the past 3 or 4 months, I've actually shown that my sleep habits are pretty normal and standard to me. Obviously, they're of my lifestyle, but it shows me my bedtime typically and my time to wake up in the morning pretty typically, and the amount of time that I get for that sleep arrangement or the sleep time. And so for me, I'm just going to show you the time that I spend to sleep. I usually go to bed around 11, and then I get out of bed sometime around 7, 7:10, 7:15, something like that. So I'm literally in bed 8 hours, but I'm sleeping like 7.5, 7 hours and 45 minutes. So to me, I love to prioritize my time for sleep because I know that I need 8 hours or pretty close to it. Otherwise, I'm like worthless. So this piece for me, the sleep part, if you're not actively spending time focusing on when you're going to bed, when you're waking up, and getting the right amount of sleep for your body, you really should prioritize that first. So for me, like I said, 11 to 7, so roughly 8 hours of being in bed, and that equates to about 7 hours and 30-ish minutes of sleep. So that's priority number one for me because, like I said, without that, I'm worthless. I can literally show you on my phone with the Aura ring the days that I might get 5.5 hours, like if I couldn't go to sleep and I had something I was thinking about, or maybe I had a presentation the next day and I was just replaying the presentation over and over again. If I didn't get the sleep, the Aura ring tells me my heart rate's off, everything's off, I'm just sleepy, groggy, my energy is really low. And so for me, like I said, prioritizing sleep, number one. So I want to kind of spit that back to you guys though. When you're thinking about your own sleep, what does that look like for you? So like I said, priority number one, figure that out for you. Up next, if I had to take a snapshot of my schedule, I'm going to look at it right here and give you a little synopsis of it. As you guys know, I'm literally running 3 jobs right now so that I can afford 3 mortgages. Because you guys know I bought a house in Missouri, straight rental. I've never seen it, never owned it. I've never touched the keys. I've never even been there. So that rental has a mortgage on it, of course. It's got renters in it. It's paying for itself. It is going really well. Thank you. Knock on wood, it keeps going. But that's one of the mortgages I have. And then as you guys know, I literally bought the home across the street from me. We love that neighborhood. My wife was like, if you're going to get another rental property, it has to be in these school boundaries. And I was like, well, why don't we just stay in the same place that we're at? Because we love that neighborhood. So we bought the house across the street from me. So now we're carrying 3 mortgages. The reason why I bring this up is because if I had to show you my the snapshot of my schedule, you would literally see it packed full of stuff. Right now in my life, I'm pretty much prioritizing work and making money to provide for my family. Probably more than a lot of people and probably a little more than I should. And that's just to be real and being honest with you guys. So if I had to show you right now, I work 40 hours a week at the Housing Authority of Salt Lake City, Monday through Friday. So that's like 8 to 5-ish. It's kind of flex hours a little bit because of driving. So there's 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, allocated to the Housing Authority of Salt Lake City. On top of that, as you guys know, I don't live very close to downtown Salt Lake where the office is at. So I spend at least 1 hour on the front side of every day heading to the Housing Authority of Salt Lake City. And then about an hour to an hour and a half on the way home because traffic is worse, as you guys know. Salt Lake City is becoming little LA, and so we're going to have continued traffic problems probably forever. I don't really think that there's a fix for that, and so if you spend a lot of time in your car, then you really need to kind of utilize that time. But for me, like I said, I'm just showcasing you where I'm prioritizing it. I'm not necessarily putting that into a category of must-haves. It's just in the category of I've got all these things going on, and this is where the time blocks go. So if I had to allocate that to a weekly amount, I'm probably spending between 10 and 15 hours inside my car per week. So if you had to break it down per week, you have, for me, 40 hours at the Housing Authority, 8 hours per day. I'm not even sure what that is. Let's just do a little calculator for fun. Obviously, you guys know I can't do math on the fly, so we're going to do 8 times 7, which I think is 56, but you better check the calculator. Sweet, got it. Okay, so 56 hours sleeping plus 40 hours of working. I'm just going to keep on doing some math for you. How many hours are in a week? Let's say 24 times 7. I'm literally, like I said, this episode, we don't know where this is going, so this is where we're going. 168 hours a week. That's all you've got. Nobody gets more. Nobody gets less. Unless you die. Sorry. That's, whatever. Okay. So you have 168 hours. So I'm going to start with 168. I'm going to minus 40 for work at the Housing Authority, like I said. Now we're down to 128. We're going to minus 56 for sleeping. And then we're going to take let's say conservative, it's probably 15 hours in the car. All right. So right now, if you only take out sleep, Housing Authority work, and driving, that's it. I've only got 57 hours left in the week, right? So for me, like I said, I'm prioritizing probably a little high on making money and providing for my family, mostly just because I wanted to live rental property life, and that's just where we're at right now. So I've got 57 hours left. I'm going to take out 2 for church. We go every week as a family, plus probably 10 or 15 minutes on the front side of that. So let's just take out another half hour. So right now I've got 54 and a half hours of free time. I want you guys to try to break that down in your own life. So, right, I'm showcasing you what my life looks like, just a little bit of insight into me, but I really want you to kind of bake that down to you. What does that look like? Where are you prioritizing your time? If you had to take a snapshot of your own schedule, what does that look like? So with that 54 and a half hours, though, I spend a lot of time hanging out with my family, teaching my team, selling real estate, as you guys know, and helping people understand and educate the rental property market. So I don't really have a way to bake that down and put that into a calculation because it varies from week to week. So to me, the prioritization right now, I try to put my family first, but honestly, I have all of these other obligations that are probably making it so that my priorities, like I said, are work, provide for my family, make money, and cover these 3 mortgages. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Where are you guys prioritizing your time? What does that look like for you? Take that, think about it, meditate on it, and if it's out of whack, figure it out. Write it down on paper. Where are you prioritizing your time? Where can you figure out to either cut something, put it away, put it into a new category, change it, tweak it, do less of it, whatever. I have one more story before we take off for this podcast. And that story is the last 3 years I was in karate. And you guys know that. I did an episode talking about getting the black belt, which was amazing. But that was a huge time constraint for me. I had a lot of drive time to get to the studio, and then it had a lot of nights that I needed to be away for that. And so for me, once I hit that black belt, that was a thing that I was like, hey, I achieved that. I got my goal there, but I just don't have the time to commit to this anymore, because it was probably 7 to 10 hours of that 54 and a half hours that I needed to get rid of and to find something to move around so that I could at least see my family. So anyway, what's that look like for you guys? Go ahead and think about it. I love you guys. And this has been another episode. I'm TJ McClellan, broker of Fitness Realty. Love you guys. We'll see you.